So product and price will come to the forefront, but to your point, people and performance, are equally as important. You could have the best rate on the street, and the deal can seem too good to be true because sometimes it is. If you can't deliver at the end of the day, if you can't close on time or close at all, it doesn't matter what that rate is. The last thing somebody wants to do is spin their wheels for months in a process and come to find out at the end what they were expecting in terms of performance by a lender is not what they're going to receive. So, from my end, I'm always happy to discuss competition. I'm always happy to discuss individual scenarios, but you will always find that I will be upfront with you with regard to the process, with regard to answers about what you need to do, because that is the only way to create trust, which is going to create a good experience for both you as a customer, me as a lender, and American Properties as your builder.
I can say that, to me, one of the highlights of our relationship is your honesty and your honesty with the client. And I always preface that to the client, and I let them know, Frank may not always tell you what you want to hear, but he's going to be honest and straightforward and get you across the finish line with the least amount of pain possible. And let's face it, it can be an invasive process. Yeah. So having someone that you can trust, that's learned. And by the way, Mortgage Associate of the Year is recognized by the New Jersey Builders Association for 2021. Yep. So congratulations on that. But I do think that having that honesty is first and foremost, and I think that that's what you bring to the table. That is really admired so much and appreciated by your customers.
Again, it's about creating an environment of trust with the buyer, and creating an experience that they're going to look back on and say, you know what, I've heard nightmare stories from other people. I've heard problems from other people. This process was better than I expected. I mean, obviously you don't want to make anything worse than anybody, expected. Mm-hmm. But the goal is to make sure that all questions are answered up front, mm-hmm. That any concerns are addressed. And as long as you build the right foundation in the process, which is having those honest questions and honest conversations up front, then everything else moves smoothly throughout. If you don't build that right foundation, if you fail to ask the right questions, if you fail to give the right answers, everything else is built on something that is not sturdy. So, that's one of the things I strive to do in each transaction, is to make sure that it may not be the answer you want to hear, up front, or the way you want things to go. But the key here is to make sure that the right expectation is set, and that once that expectation is set, that we either equal or exceed from there.
I think the key here that we really need to touch on, that I don't think that first-time buyers or new construction purchasers are aware, is that you are in the fold. You are in those direct communication channels. You sit on those weekly project meetings. So while their information is confidential, you are sitting firsthand in the inner circle and have such an advantage, because you know where that home is in the process and can advise the buyer accordingly as far as rate locks.